Okay guys, so here we are with the review. Here she is, the PlayStation 5 Pro. Yep, I have my entire PlayStation 5 Pro setup right here. Hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy seeing it and everything. But yes, this is the entire setup right here. As you can see, it is 30th anniversary theme. So the PS5 Pro has the gray look that the original PlayStation had, and that goes for everything on the setup. So the stand is completely gray, the PS5 Pro is completely gray, the disk drive is gray, right? My gaming headset is gray, my two controllers are gray, right? And even the media remote is technically not gray, it has a gray sleeve, but the PlayStation Portal, which I got over here, is gray as well. So today we're going to talk about the PS5 Pro. I'm going to give my comprehensive review, and I'm going to also compare it a bit to the base PS5 because I had that console as well. So you guys ready? Let's go, man. All right, ladies and gents, so now let's get on to the review. So the PS5 Pro, as many of you guys know, is Sony's fifth console, right? In their console generations, PS1, 2, 3, 4, and of course, 5. And of course, there are three models of the PS5. Of course, you have the standard PS5 that came out in 2020. You have the PS5 Slim, which was the Slim revision. And then, of course, you have what you see before you right now, which is the Pro model. And honestly, the PS5 Pro is a fantastic system, and it is a system that really has a lot of value with it, especially if you don't even have a PS5 right now. Like, if you don't have a PS5 right now and you have a 4K TV and you want to take full advantage of that TV, then the PS5 Pro is a console that will really be great for you. I mean, even the standard PS5 will be great for you, but if you have like a 4K TV that's like, let's say an OLED, maybe it has variable refresh rate, maybe it supports up to 120 hertz, then the PS5 Pro, definitely a system that is really great. And one of the things I like about it is that it pulls out like additional horsepower compared to the standard PS5, so it allows you to reach higher frame rates in games. Like games that may, let's say, struggle to hit 60 frames per second on the PS5 will be perfectly fine on PS5 Pro, which is something that I like a whole lot about it. And I also like the way that the PlayStation Portal works with the console. So here we have the PlayStation Portal, right? And the PlayStation Portal works well even with the standard PS5, but I find that the connection tends to be even smoother when you use it with the PS5 Pro, and I find that it tends to be more, reliant. Like there's not as many connection issues, and it tends to run smoother when you have it with the PS5 Pro. So that's one thing that I like a whole lot, is the connection between the PlayStation Portal and the PS5 Pro. It just works much better with the Pro than it does with the standard PS5. So if you have a PS Portal, really, really good. Next thing, of course, this is the controller, and this isn't something that's necessarily specific to the PS5 Pro, but the controller is dope. It's really awesome. I like the fact that, it has the extra grip, especially compared to the PS4 controller. And I talked about this in my original PS5 review, but no change with the PS5 Pro. But I'll also include this as well. So while I think that this controller is great, I also like the DualSense Edge controller as well. So this is the standard DualSense, but the DualSense Edge, which I'll show y'all right now, it's just even firmer. So it has more grip onto it. It has more weight onto it too. It has a more pliable touchpad and everything. And you could also swap out the sticks, which I like a whole lot. You can remap the controls. You can remap the buttons and everything. So really dope controller. But either one, the DualSense Edge or the standard DualSense, great controllers. As you can see, the difference is not really that crazy, but you can see, right, how the DualSense Edge is slightly bigger, it's slightly bulkier compared to the standard one. So this is the DualSense Edge, this is the standard DualSense. Dope controller. I'm gonna leave that there, and we're gonna put this right here back inside of the setup. So next, let's get on to gaming. Regarding gaming, as I said, the PS5 Pro tends to fix up like a lot of frame rate issues that you may have with certain games. Like, for example, a game like, let's say, what's a game that has frame rate issues? Let's take a game like, let's say, Elden Ring, right? A game that's, known for frame rate issues. If you play Elden Ring on the PS5 Pro, it is actually the most stable way that you can play Elden Ring. The game runs at 60 frames per second if you play it in the performance mode, and it runs at 60 frames per second, even if you play it in the graphics mode too. If you have variable refresh rate on, then yeah, it'll pretty much run at 60 frames the entire time. It will have the occasional dips in the frame rate, but very far and few between. Especially when you compare it to the base PS5, it runs significantly better if you have it on PS5 Pro. Another game that runs well is Dragon's Dogma 2, which is a open world RPG. And that game definitely had loads of frame rate issues that were all over the place on the standard PS5. On PS5 Pro, 60 frames per second locked, pretty much no issues, especially if you have variable refresh rate. You don't even feel when the frame rate changes or anything. So PS5 Pro works very, very well. In terms of resolution, let's take a game like, let's say, what's a game I can say looks sharper? Let's take a game like Astrobot. Astrobot is a game that I can say looks great as it is, but when you play Astrobot on the PS5 Pro, it really is when you can see the difference. Like Astrobot on the PS5 Pro looks like a Pixar movie, honestly. It already looks good on the standard PS5, but on the Pro, the enhancement to the graphics looks better. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart looks a lot better, I can say. Certain games where they have pro patches, like regarding like lighting, volumetric inclusion and all those things, and like better anti-aliasing, all those things will look better on PS5 Pro. And that's one of the things that I love about the Pro so much. So PS5 Pro, again, is a console for those that want the best of the best. You want the most stable frame rate when you play games. You want to see no drop frames. You want the games to run as smoothly as possible. You don't want it to interrupt the immersion of your gaming. You want to be able to just play without any lag or without any stuttering or jittery issues. PS5 Pro is that system. The Blu-ray drive is great too. Of course, plays all Blu-rays. It plays 3D Blu-rays. It plays standard Blu-rays. It plays 4K Blu-rays. It plays pretty much anything. So, and it plays DVDs too. So it's really good. Here, as you can see on the front of the console, you got the power button, which is right here. Then you have the two USB-C ports, 1, 2. And then of course you have the disk drive right here. And what I like is that the eject button is on the disk drive itself, because on the standard PS5, you have the eject button right next to the power button, and sometimes you could confuse the two. But when you have the eject button on the disk drive itself, it doesn't allow you to like confuse it for anything. So there's no confusion about which one is the power button and which one is the eject button. The eject button is on the disk drive itself, and the power button is on the console. So there's no confusion about which is which. So that's something that I really enjoy a whole lot. Now let's look at the back of the system to see how the ports look on the back. All right, so here we are. We are at the back of the console. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the ports on the back. So first, of course, we have the HDMI port right here. This supports all the way up to 4K at 120 hertz via HDMI 2.1. Here, of course, we have the LAN port. And the LAN port is where you put your Ethernet cable. So that's right here. Then, of course, you have two USB-A ports. So as you guys saw on the front of the console, there was two USB-C ports. And on the back, there's two USB-A ports. So USB-A ports only exist on the back of the console. On the standard PS5, you have a USB-A port on the front and you have one USB-C port. But on the PS5 Pro, you have two USB-C ports on the front and then you have two USB-A ports on the back. So usually this is where I plug in my stand to get like the RGB lights, because the stand lights up and everything. And then I also plug in my hard drive, my 6 terabyte external hard drive. So I plug that in there as well. And then of course, all the way at the bottom, you have the power. So the power goes in right there, man. So really great setup. And I like the fact that they have the two USB-A ports on the back and then the USB-C on the front, because a lot more devices now are starting to use USB-C to charge things, such as cell phones, such as tablets, such as wireless headsets, such as wireless headphones that you use with your phone when you listen to music. So a lot more accessories are starting to use USB-C for charging now. So I think that it's just great that they have two USB-C ports on the front, because they're transitioning. They're getting you ready for the transition, and they're getting ready to support all the new devices that continue to come out. So really, really dope. So let's get into this one, guys. This one is going to be game recommendations. What games do I recommend that you actually get for this system? What games will look really great on the PS5 Pro? What are some games that you will enjoy a whole lot? And these are games I recommend that you should get even if you have a standard PS5, okay? So these are games that I recommend to get if you want to see the greatness of the PS5 Pro. One, I recommend to get that new Days Gone remastered. Even if you played the original Days Gone on PS5, it looks amazing, but get that Days Gone remastered, try that. Horizon Forbidden West, definitely play that on the PS5 Pro because that game looks phenomenal. It almost looks just like PC graphics when you play it on the PS5 Pro. Amazing. Astrobot, sorry, and Astro's Playroom. Astro's Playroom is a game that you should play regardless if you have whatever PS5 you have. So Astro's Playroom, but more specifically Astrobot, if you have the PS5 Pro. The new Astrobot game looks phenomenal on this system, so definitely play that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it fixes the frame rate issues and the game runs smooth like butter and it looks absolutely fantastic. So I recommend playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PS5 Pro. I recommend playing Cyberpunk 2077. Yup, Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that runs amazing on PS5 Pro. Uncharted 4, you could play Uncharted 4 and you could play it in the resolution mode, like at the high resolution mode, and still run it at 60 frames per second. So you don't have to choose between the two modes. You could just run it at 60 frames and have them look at it as best as it can look. So Uncharted 4 is definitely a game to try out. So PS5 Pro has so many games that you guys can choose from. So many more that I can name. Even Devil May Cry 5 is a game that you should play on PS5 Pro too, honestly. Phenomenal system, and a system that takes the PS5 experience and just makes it better than it already was. Final thoughts. So final thoughts, I'll say that the PS5 in general is the best console in this console generation. The Xbox Series X is a good console too, but the PS5 Pro just continues to take things to a whole new level, and it is the most powerful home console on the market. So the Xbox Series X, as great as it is, it's not more powerful than the PS5 Pro. Whether it's the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S, none of them are more powerful than the PS5 Pro. So if you're a console gamer and you want to have the best console experience playing on a home console, PS5 Pro is the way to go. It takes everything that the PS5 already does well and just amplifies it by like 10. If there was a way I could describe the system, it takes what the base PS5 already does and it amplifies it by 10. Great accessories, comfortable controller, it works very well, especially if you have a PlayStation Portal. And on top of that, it has better internet speeds. I forgot to mention that because the PS5 Pro actually has a Wi-Fi 7 card. So it actually has even better Wi-Fi speeds than the standard PS5 too. So if you're somebody that uses Wi-Fi, especially like me, when you play online with online gaming, PS5 Pro is the way to go, man. So I definitely hope that you guys enjoyed this review. And I definitely hope that you guys look forward to more videos and more content regarding PlayStation and gaming in general, all right? Take care. Peace. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching the video. And hey, let me know. If this video gets 10 likes, let me know. Do you guys want to see it? A comparison between the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 Pro? Let me know. If this video gets 10 likes, I'll actually drop that as an upcoming video. PlayStation 5 Pro versus Xbox Series X, Firedragon's honest opinion after owning both consoles. So if this video gets 10 likes, I'll drop that next, all right? All right, guys. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.